Okay, I am starting this over again. I had a video that was all over the place and I deleted it because it was a fucking snooze fest. I haven't been on camera in probably about 8 months. I usually do YouTube. 2024, I kept on saying life was lifing. It was fucking lifing. Between 2024 to early 2025, it's been a fucking rough go. And life's getting better. So I decided to come on camera, and since being on the camera phone is so much easier than actually pulling out my regular YouTube camera, I decided I was going to start doing some TikTok videos and getting into this GLP-1 conversation. So I am going to start a series called My Unpopular Opinion on GLP-1 Advice, because I feel like there's a lot of advice out there that I don't think is the best advice to give. Just real quick, I've been on GLP-1 for 6 months going into 7 months. I lost 56 pounds. I started off at 2.5 milligrams on Zepbound. I then went to 5 milligrams. I've been at 5 milligrams ever since. Now that's a really long time, but I am absolutely hoping that I can sustain being on a 5 milligram indefinitely. We shall see. So, all right. When I first started my GLP-1 journey, I got online to look for people's experiences and opinions and advice and whatnot. And I was hoping to find somebody online that had been on it specifically for weight loss for like 5+ years. And the longest that I've seen so far is 2.5 years. Like there's a handful of people that have social media that have been on it for 2 to 2.5 years. And everybody else is predominantly under a year, months, weeks, days that have their social media talking about their experiences. And one of the things that I realized is that even the people that have been on it for like over 2 years, some of their advice is just as bad as someone who's only been on it for a few months. Now, what I'm about to say to you, like, even though this is my opinion, I try to be more like with my advice is more just like, this is my experience. This is what works for me. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I just want to make that just clear that I have a disdain for people that come on camera and they're like, you have to do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that worked for you, or you're going to feel this way. I've seen that a few times. You're going to have this happen to you and that happen to you. And I'm like, that's your story. That's not everybody else's story. Like, for instance, I have a friend that we're both on a GLP-1 or both on Zepbound. And every time I talk to her about my side effects I've had, she has not experienced one of them, and vice versa with me. She talks about getting cold. I don't get cold. So, I mean, like, everyone's experiences are going to be different. So just keep that in mind when you're getting online and people are telling you that this is going to happen to you and you have to do this in order to succeed. Like that's not good advice. One of the things that you have to take in consideration, what are your previous medical conditions? What is your current physical state going into the shot? This is for anything in life. If you're going to take anything new in life, what all medications are you on? What supplements are you on? That alone can affect your experience on a GLP-1. What are you eating? How often are you eating? When are you eating? Are you exercising? When are you exercising? What exercises are you doing? How often are you exercising? Then the final, things that you might be genetically already predisposed to. All these things are going to affect your personal experience. And even though we're going to have overlapping experiences, it doesn't mean that they're going to be identical. And we're absolutely going to have experiences that are unique to ourselves. So, the other thing I wanted to bring up, there's a thing called groupthink. And groupthink is when you have somebody who has an idea and someone else comes along and they start to share the same ideas and influence each other. And then the more people get involved, the more that ideology or that thought process or way of life becomes the truth to them. And the more aggressive they get with anybody who disagrees with them or goes against the grain. So what I'm seeing, this happens all the time in online communities. Doesn't matter what community it is online. You get people that it starts off casual and then it starts to become more and more aggressive, and which is what I'm seeing in the GLP-1 community. So you have people that are like, you have to up your protein, you have to up your fiber, you have to up your electrolytes. And I'm sitting there looking at that like, overall, at face value, that's good advice. Yeah, high protein, high fiber, high electrolytes. But then what works for one person might not work for somebody else. When I was in Iraq, I had a guy give me his tub of protein because he was taking too much protein for his body to handle. He ended up getting kidney stones. Protein and fiber alone, upping either one of those can make you have severe diarrhea pissing out of your fucking ass, or can make you severely constipated. If you get on Google, it flat out says, go to your physician, before you start, going crazy with the fiber. So I see people come on, even the people are like, I'm a nutritionist, I'm a dietitian, I'm a fucking doctor. You need to have at least 30 to 50 grams of fiber a day. I can tell you that from my own personal experience of upping things, that the body, and this again, everybody is different. For you, you might be able to jump right into it and it's a smooth fucking ride. But for other people, your body potentially will go into shock because it's new, right? Your body has to, like ride that wave until it becomes normal. Like for instance, when I did keto years ago, I was on keto for the diet for a year to a year and a half. And I was like pissing out of my ass for the first few weeks. My period went off, everything was kind of crazy. And then after a few weeks, everything balanced out and I ended up having like the healthiest shits I ever had in my life. Fast forward to being on a GLP-1, I started upping my protein and fat right before like a few weeks before the GLP-1, I started pissing out of my ass again. I started upping my fiber when I first started the GLP-1. And along with my body getting used to the GLP-1 too, with the whole entire, it's slowing down my digestive system, I became constipated. So like, and that's me, that's my personal story. But all I'm saying is that it's so important that you read your body and you just kind of take it easy going into things. If someone's telling you have to hit a certain amount of protein, a certain amount of fiber a day, that's someone who's been doing that for a minute. Like, if you're like eating all over the place and you're not really paying attention to what you're eating, and then all of a sudden you're giving it like a valiant go, like, all right, I'm doing this, I'm going to start, doing these things consistently, your body's going to have to get used to the new norm. So read your body, read the signs, and then two, see if you can get a doctor, a physician, a good doctor. Some of the people, I like it in my feelings for them because they'll be like talking about how they're having some kind of medical issue and they'll reach out to their doctor. And like the one chick, Sarah, she's on TikTok. I really like watching her videos. But she was talking about how she was waiting for a doctor, like a week's going by, 2 weeks going by, and she's having these severe, side effects. And the doctor pretty much is just, I don't want to say ignoring her, but not being there like a doctor should be. So absolutely make sure you get a good doctor. Remember, you are that fucking doctor's paycheck. So if that doctor makes you feel like another number in line, if you're having a moment, I had a doctor years ago. I had a severe moment and I reached out to her and she literally just kind of left me hanging. And I went and I got her a doctor right away. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So just keep that in mind. Get yourself a doctor, get yourself somebody who truly gives a shit about you. If you can, get some blood work, have your doctor be able to look at the blood work. And you can get on, if you go to LabCorp, you can create an account on LabCorp and you can actually see your results on LabCorp. And LabCorp is like user friendly where it shows you like, green to red. Like if you're in the red, it's bad. If you're in the green, it's good. Like it's easy to like read even if you're not a doctor. So other than that, that's where I'm going to stop with this video as far as like my GLP-1 unpopular advice. I'll be kicking up some more videos here in the near future. This is the one that I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and upload today. We'll go ahead and see. Hopefully it's not as all over the fucking place as the first one I did. So, all right. I will see you guys later.